This is what we're going to talk about today. One, it's about goals and it's about being better. That's one part of it. And then the next part about it is corruption. We need to talk about corruption. This is what I left the Instagram guys on yesterday. I said, think about corruption. Think about it. Isn't that funny? We talked about it today. Everything's a scam. Think about corruption. The market, it's all corrupted. The manipulation. Corrupted. What does that mean to you when you hear the word corruption? What is corruption to you? It's phenomenal. The word corruption is seen in many, many ways. And you could see it, economics, the economic situation of Africa and Nigeria and some of these less developed, top producing oil countries, they've been tainted by corruption. What happened with corruption is it's a pervasive influence. Politics, yes, the stock market, kind of rigged. Think about it. Corruption. I love it. So I want you to think about this. And let me ask you this question. Are you corrupted? This is what I want from you. I did this on Instagram, and I don't want no gray area. I don't want any fucking answers with, well, no, because of this. Yes, just yes or no. Yes or no, are you corrupted? Just yes or no. Everything else, if you don't answer with yes or no, it tells you something about yourself. It's telling you something right now about how you view this situation. Just yes or no. Just yes or no. Okay, I'm not even going to read them because I'm just saying, this is for you. It's not even for me. I just want you to think about it. Just want you to think about it. That's all. You see, just walk away with the question. Just think about corruption. It's going to be understanding corruption, understanding its effect on you, and just thinking about it. But then also, at the same time, I want to talk about becoming better and making goals and just overall being better. So think about corruption. We've already talked about it. I just want you to think about it. And that's why I think it's a great question to think about. And it's funny how freely used the word corruption is, but we got to really think about it. And maybe it could make some changes for us. But there's a few points I need to make, and there's a few things. And where is this coming from? And honestly, I'll tell you this. This is going to be about me. Two things were said yesterday. One was good, one was bad. And I caught these comments, and they caught my eye, and I was just thinking about them. And what happened was the first comment is someone said, damn, I wonder what Josh has seen to become this wise. And I was like, I laughed at myself because I was like, a lot, bro, a lot, honestly. And it made sense. I think so. I was like, damn, you're right. I have seen a lot of things that, what I've experienced has given me I have a unique set of skills, and at the same time, I was even thinking come on, what do you think? You see what I do? Honestly, you guys, I'll lose money. I last week we were down 20 grand on it. We already made 10 back of it, but think about it. Why do you guys don't care about money when I lose it? Think about how desensitized I am to losing money. Seriously, I'll be down a couple K. Even I could be down. I've seen it before. That's the thing. I've literally seen it. I've felt this before. It doesn't hit the same. Honestly, it really doesn't. And you guys will notice that. Your guys' wins and your successes, they're not going to hit the same. Promise you. And that we're going to talk about that. But now, on the reverse, somebody also said something, and they were like, you just talk about yourself. This guy just loves to talk about himself, and that's all it is. They even said, they're like, Josh just his account got big. Now he's just he let the clout get to him. And I was like, I don't think so, but obviously I'm going to view myself in the best light. You know what I'm saying? But I think I've acted relatively the same, whether we've had 2,000 or 200,000 people between the accounts. I really, I've tried to, and I think I'm very bipolar, and I go up and down. I have my ups and my downs, and it sounds like progression. You know what I'm saying? But when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I said, well, let me make it clear. You're kind of yes. Not about the, the clout thing and shit like that. And more so, this is about me. And then I said, let me take a step back. And then I said, let me think about me. And that's what I wanted to. And then that's why I said this got real fucking deep. Because then I was like, I need to think about me for a little bit, actually. Like, let me look at me. Let me analyze me for a second. And, and that's what I love, whether it's positive or negative. I'm going to take what's said and I'm going to get something from it. I don't care what it is. I don't care. You could mean it with hate. The Lord meant it for me to grow, baby. So God bless you. God bless everybody. And when I was looking at that, I was like, this is about me. And now I'm going to tell you that. What I'm going to share with you here now is about me. I was just introspective and I'm looking into me. This has nothing to do with you, but I will, maybe I could set you an example. Maybe I could give you something to look out for. Because for me, what I realized is that I need to look at me and my actions because I'm talking to people all damn day. And some of you, maybe that's the case. Some of you you could tell your friends, you need to do this. You tell your mom, and you guys need to save your money. You need to do this. But are you focusing on yourself, though? And let's take a step back. Just because you learn something, just because you know something now, is there nothing you can do better? You see? So even if I wanted to listen to somebody, anyone says they're like, that's what I started asking myself yesterday. I said, what about me? What can I do that's better now? Fuck that. I'm always talking to these guys saying, don't do this, don't do that. I said, no, screw them. I'm going to screw the cult for a second. Because I said, how can I get better? I said, I need to ask that question right now. Because I'm always the guy telling this person this and this and this and this and this and that. And it's fucking annoying sometimes. And you guys get annoyed. But I have to look back at me and say, hold up. How do I get better? And it's a blessing and a curse. And we're going to, believe me, you're going to see where I'm going with this. And you're going to like it, I hope. And that's why I was just, bro, in the midst of all of it, because again, you guys got to really think about it, I love it. I love the cult, I love the positivity, and that's what it comes down to, and I love it. Like I'm telling you, I couldn't, I love what you guys are saying and everything, but after one point, you have to think about it. It's fucked up. You guys are so, imagine people telling you, oh, you're a role model. You're an inspiration. You're so good. You're so this. You're so that. You're so this. People coming to you to ask questions. At one point, what's the problem? Maybe I'm going to be like, shit, maybe I am good. You know what I'm saying? What if I did believe it all? What if I was like, I am good? At one point, it's like I'm going to hit a cap. Because it's like, no. It's like, I love it. I appreciate you guys. I love the positivity. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. But then at the same time, it's like, I'm not that good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking every single time. I'm like, I'm not that good. And even if I was that good, I'm not done yet. And this started to change my whole perspective. Because I was working through this and thinking about it. I was like, I'm not done yet. So that's where it clicked for me, because I was like, it doesn't matter where I am right now, even how another person may view me, what I could do. I said, I'm not done. So it doesn't matter. And that's what I wanted to make sure, that the outside influence, whatever people say, that it doesn't eliminate that concept, that I am not done yet. So even if somebody tells me you're good, I'm not finished. Same thing could be applied to you. It's on you of how you want to look at it. Because you could call me this and that, but I'm not going to accept that I'm good enough yet. I know I'm good enough for the Lord. I know you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm on this crazy, you know what I'm saying? You guys know me. I'm not this crazy, like, I have to know. And it's not like I feel empty about it. No. It's just, I know I'm like, before I really, you guys may see me at some place, but it's like, I'm not at that place. And I don't think I am yet. And I think I'm not finished. And I think I could do a lot more. And, there's a lot I can do, and there's a lot I could be better at, and there's a lot of things I could do. And now I feel like for me, I reached kind of a point, and I think it's reflected even what you guys will say, where it's like, but more so for me, I think I reached, before kind of thinking about this whole philosophy, and kind of, exploring this, I was like, I feel like I reached a point where I was limited in what I expected after something, And I think it's the same thing even with stocks, right? After your account goes up to a certain price, after the market move, after certain, you just kind of expect it. And that's where I think I did limit it in a way. I've done well in certain things. I built up a life. And at one point you're going to reach, it's like, well, am I limiting what I expect? See, now this is the important part. And this is where, I won't drop it. I'm going to connect something for you. So just think about that point, okay? That point where I was like, maybe I limited what I even expected of myself. Okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to go to another point. Are you guys with me? Am I jumping around too much? I need you with me on this. Are you following? I'm going to say something you've probably heard before. We're going to remix it a little bit, a little different. Okay? I'm making sure. I just got to make sure. They feel me. That's what I'm talking about. Good. So this is where I started to think about it. Think about what you expect and what you wanted. Everything in life. And it really got me to this point where I said, don't get fixed on what you think you want or what you see. We've had to talk about this before. It's the complacency. It's settling. But pretty much, what I'm trying to tell you right now, right here, right now, is that what you want, it is not good enough. And I'm telling you this in the sense, not that you're not good enough, not that you don't have the skills, not that you have the ability, but all I'm telling you is that what you think you want is not big enough. It's not good enough because you're operating from a limited scope of view if you really think about it. And why do I say that is because it's a delicate balance between being content and being complacent. Because what I'm saying is you all want something and you've wanted something so bad, what's going to happen? You're going to reach it. I promise you. If you go, you got positivity, you set the goal, you're thinking positive, you're going to get it. Promise you. But when you achieve something like that, what's going to happen? I've been there. You know what you're going to do? You're going to be like, well, okay, is this it? You see what I'm saying? You're going to be like, is this it? I always wanted 100,000. What happens when you hit it? You see, your goal wasn't big enough. But then what's going to happen, you set these goals, you get to a point in life, you may reach it, but then usually that's where shit dies. It stops right there. Isn't that kind of weird to think about? Because you wanted it so bad and you thought you would never have it. But what and that's why I love it. God, your plans, you have plans for you. I think God has bigger plans for all of us. That's what it is. And that's why I said it's a fine line, though, between becoming complacent and being content. Because you could be content. And I'm a content individual. I'm very content with everything. I like to think. So it's like, well, I wanted that. You know what I'm saying? And I liked it. I don't need, it's like, honestly, like I'm good. Like I'm not out here like I want to be a billionaire. And like I'm really content with what I have. And at any moment in my life, I have been. And when I wasn't content, it fucked with me. And it'll fuck with you too. But, yeah, man plans, God laughs, right? But then there's also complacency. And that's the next level. So, what I'm trying to get at here is that it's not it. And really what you think you wanted, it could usually be bigger and better. So it's finding this balance. And now, do you see where I'm coming from? Do you see why I was asking myself that question? Honestly, I'm like, okay, what? I know about the finance. I'm talking to people. I get to spread this with you. You guys are like, you're so good. You're so good. I'm like, is this it? You're telling me who I am, all my failures, exactly how I am. I pop out. I'm like, this is it? Is that the goal? Is that my stand? That's it? I was like, no. I said it can't be. You see, maybe it goes beyond that in many levels. And then even now I was thinking as a person, but now why was I so content in a way, or why could my contentness lead to complacency? And this is where I think where I said I've limited my expectation. You know? I limited my expectation. So now, why did I limit my expectation? And now this is where it got really deep. And this is now where I was thinking about everybody now. This is where it gets a little bit, even myself specifically. Again, this is still all about me. And I said, why? So why did I limit my expectations? Can someone give me the answer? Let's see. Tell me. Why did I limit my expectations? Corruption. It's corruption. Uh-oh, where am I going with this? Do you know where I'm going with this right now? The answer is corruption. Isn't that weird? Corruption. Why? You see, that's why I kept thinking about this. I was like, wait a minute. It's corruption. My view was corrupted. My view was that everybody's corrupted. I've known that. You see what I'm saying? I've known that my whole life. Even that was my first struggle with even learning to believe. I was like, well, everybody's evil. It says it in the Bible. It says nobody is truly, everyone is wicked. You know it. You see everybody around you, this and that. You know how that's, so my mind this whole time, it was corrupt. I was like, well, everyone's corrupted. I knew my flaws. So in my mind, I was just thinking, I said, I'm so corrupted, man. I was like, this and that. I just thought attaining for something kind of more was almost impossible. Does that make sense? Pretty much I'm saying everything is so corrupted. I've been so corrupted. Everybody is naturally like this. So in my mind, I'm like, well, there's a limit then. I limited the expectation of really how good you really can be. I'm pretty much saying it's unattainable because everybody is corrupted. Is that weird? Does anybody get what I'm saying? I don't know if you feel, because it hit me a certain way. You know, this is where it really hit me. This is where I really thought about it. And I wondered why I limited myself. And my simple answer was corruption. And I think it sounds very weird at first, but I had a lot of things in my environment now, in my life. That's why you're like, well, what did you do to learn all this shit? I was like, a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of different things in different environments, experience, you know? And it's the same ones that supposedly would have made me wise, but it's also affected how I view the world, people, and even myself in return. You know, I put, you know, at times in life, I put faith in man when I shouldn't have trusted men. You know, all men are evil. I should have known that. But I've got to see it with my own eyes. So now I know, now I'm very jaded by it. I don't trust that, right? You know, I saw crazy stuff with people, and I learned very quickly you could only be so good. I've been in so many situations, whether it has to do with money, being nice, anything, and I was like, they could have handled that better, or whoa, I got to see the reality. I only expected so much from humans, including myself now. You see, more and more, every experience I've ever gotten, it kind of boiled down by that, literally. You know, I learned don't expect much out of humanity. You know, I know a lot of people. I know people that you guys know about, and I've seen it. And I've seen how those people act one way in the media. You know, there's people in entertainment and all that. You see them a certain way. I know them, you know, and that's like literally, I know how Hollywood works. Hollywood gave me a great glimpse of that. You're just like, oh, I only expect so much. Right? But this is what led me to understand it. This is where I was like, whoa, hold up. So I have all these experiences. I've seen all this stuff, all these different types of stuff. And I'm like, has this corrupted me? Has that, you know, you see, by seeing corruption and seeing people and seeing the reality of humans and situations, That's why I was like, well, maybe that's what's limited. I was like, you could only be so good. Or I was jaded and I was willing to, like, that's why. Like, anything fucked up happens. I'm a very, very hard person to, I don't get surprised as much. Even I'll react for 10 minutes, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to trip, really. Nothing could really surprise me at this point. There's nothing new under the sun. And that's where I was like, wait a minute, that's weird. But then I'm like, why am I so jaded? And then I was thinking about myself, my experience, the people like that, and then even you guys. But now, think about that in the context now. Why are we like that? And now, like, think about it, bro. And I was really thinking about you guys. Like, I'm a very jaded individual. And I was like, why? I've seen the things I've seen. I've seen some crazy shit. But now, it's not just what I've seen. What about our culture? What about all of the stuff we were born into? Like, seriously, like, if you grew up on the internet, you grew up playing RuneScape, right? Someone said that. You grew up playing video games, Xbox Live. You've been on the internet. Think about that. You know what 4chan is. I could tell you about the dark web. You go on the internet, see all this. No, this is about me. Because that's what I was saying to myself. I was like, well, shit. I have been, and then I've been corrupted like that my whole life. And I've just seen so much both evil or fucked up shit or crazy shit, one thing after another, year after year of my life. It suddenly just became the new weird normal. And that's why certain things don't shock me. Certain things don't offend me. Don't surprise me. Don't scare me. And it is all distractions, but it doesn't change the fact, that's what I saw. Most of you did. I think a lot of you, honestly. But again, I know, and if you didn't, God bless your soul. Because I have. And it's just like, it kind of sucks because now I've realized it. Because now I'm looking back and I'm like, so why would I limit my expectations of who I could become and how good of a person I could be? It's because of that. And I think we've all just been straight up corrupted from day one. With the culture, it's a blessing and a curse. Internet brought you here. Internet brought you everything else. And this is how we view. But now, once you see so many people fail, and you see so many other individuals, and you see all this evil, and you get exposed to it, at one point, everybody's just going to limit their expectations. Like, how good can you really be? At this point, anything that happens, you're just going to be like, well, most of you would expect it from people. If I say, like, this person got sexual assault on this person, you're like, yeah. Ellen DeGeneres is this. You're like, yeah. This person, you're like, yeah. Nothing, you kind of saw it coming. You wouldn't be too disappointed. And it sucks. And this is what I was thinking about. And that's where I said, and then that's where it clicked for me. So, it sounds negative. Someone's like, where's the positivity in this? It's nowhere to be found. No, it is. Because I was just like, dude, I got to kind of uncorrupt myself. And I have to use that as an advantage more or less because it's advantageous to me. Again, I've been so corrupted and desensitized. Money's moving. I don't give a shit. Shocking things like the worst things in life could happen. And I could be so solid because just nothing will happen. I'm solid because of that. It's a blessing in that sense, but then it's a curse. Like sometimes you want to feel something, but you can't. Sometimes I wish I felt the emotions you guys have when it comes to even trading and all that. And hopefully you cherish it because you may not ever get it back. Honestly, think about that. Like some of you are like, Josh, how do you do that? You don't react. You don't do like this and this. It's like, damn. You don't want to go through what I went through for that. And and at other times, you're gonna go, and you may get to that point, and you may look back. Why would you want to feel something? I mean, because sometimes it's necessary. Stuff that it would shatter people's worlds. I could kind of just look at it and be like, damn, that sucks. I said, God, and I think, and thank God, because usually I just chalk it up. I'm like, God is good. I have faith in God. I don't really question too much when it gets down to it. And I move forward. That's my shit. And I love it. You see what I'm saying? I love it. It is a blessing, but it is also a curse. And you guys have the same thing, I think. But again, this is just about me. So I don't know where you guys stand at it. So hopefully you think about it. But that's what I came down to. And I was like, well, I've been corrupted since day one. And I keep getting corrupted. And I have been. And now some things I'm not hitting it, right? So yesterday when I was thinking, I was like, but I don't know. I kind of was like, nah, but like, I could be better. Like I said, I'm not done yet. You see what I'm saying? What can I do in the next 20, 30 years or anything? I just said I'm not done. And that's where I started to change things. I was like, well, in my mind, I've limited this belief of what is possible. I said, nobody could be good. Literally, I've seen too much. I know too much. Nobody is good. The Bible even says it. Nobody could be good. But then I was like, and I made this crazy rant yesterday. And I said, I can't even repeat it for you guys. Because it was just so off top. I really couldn't. And I said, why haven't I tried? You see that? And that's the next thing. Maybe I'll give it to you one day, but you need to try. And that's where I was like, well, shit. Why don't I try? I have this somehow embedded belief in me that you cannot be this good, and that's how I am. You know about it. I still like that. Like, you see the shit I say, the shit. And I'm like, why haven't I tried? Why don't I set the bar even higher? Maybe I can be as good as Gandhi if I want. Like, why have I literally even Gandhi? And then I was like, nah. Then that corruption, I was like, Gandhi. I know what Gandhi was doing behind the scenes. We ain't seen Gandhi's whole life. I don't know what Gandhi. You see what I'm saying? But then there is people like that, and there is truly good people, and there is people who have overcame their environment, the world, and everything around them. But at the very least, in my mind, what matters, I don't give a shit if I end up like that. I really do care if I try, though. So I said, I have to try. And that's what I came down. I said, I need to make a goal, and I need to be better, and I need to realize even then I'm not done. And maybe for you guys, before you look at your friends, before you look to give advice to anybody, anything, just realize you're not done yet. And anything is truly limiting if you do not try it. I don't care, whatever you think. If you can't, you guys, something, I'll never be good. I'll never be able to do this. I said, nah. And then, through God, anything is possible. And that is the basis of this too. And I said, why haven't I done that? I've came to God with everything. I've ran up God, bro. I've taken him to the bank. I've said, God, I need this. I put faith in you. You're not going to fail me. Every single time I have. Always. So why haven't I said, God, I want to be the best person possible. I want to be able to see if, I do want to, there is stuff I could be better. And I always thought that kind of, it was capped, but it's not. And even if it is, I don't know until I try. So that's where it came down to. That's why I said that's what the philosophy is. And that's what that was my deep thoughts with myself came down to yesterday. I said, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to be better and like really better. I want to do more. I should be. I'm not done yet. Y'all think I'm at some shit. Y'all haven't seen shit. I need to take it to another level. The level that I thought was not available, or the level that I thought was futile to even try for. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my philosophy. This philosophy is about me. Take whatever you want from it. But talking with you guys, that's what I'm saying. Who the fuck am I to tell you to try? And I'm not going to try. Well, shit. I said, thank you, Josh Answers. You gave some good advice right there. I need to try. Why? Why have I accepted certain things and I've accepted it as literally, that's just it. That's the world. That's life. That's people. I'm a jaded ass motherfucker, bro. I'm telling you. That's nothing. That's why I was like, why? Why? I need to do better language. I keep and I have my beliefs on it. I need to do better. It goes beyond that. And not only better, I could strive for a crazy potential that I think is humanly unattainable in every single human, but I've never really tried it. I never really have. And that's really even the final point, and that's where kind of I connected it to, and I think that's why I was like, I'm not done yet. This is early. And it makes sense with my kind of journey. Like, I always didn't believe in God. I didn't always believe in this. I was never a positive person. I used to think this shit was bullshit. 100%, million percent, take that to the bank. And even with God, even at first, I grew up in a hellfire pastor church type environment. I always my parents said I was going to go to hell all the time, this and that. So at a very young age, I said, listen, that's unattainable. I was smart. I got to the corruption thing very early. I was like, that's just unattainable based on parent standards and what I've learned. I'm never going to heaven. So God, I'm cutting my losses now. I'm going to live the fuck out of this life. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm not going to worry about that. It's already unattainable. But then I did my reading. I read my book, and I was like, and then it just said, you want the kingdom of heaven? It's simple. 2 things. It encompasses the whole Bible. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, and put no other God before me. That's it. That's all it said. And then at that point, early on in my life, that was almost 10 years ago. I was like, shit. That's when a light bulb went off, and I was like, okay, like I can actually believe now and go to heaven. You see, that's what it was. At first, I thought heaven was unattainable. I limited myself to that belief. I said, no one can do that. I will never reach that level. There's no point of me believing. I mean, honestly, that's what I came down to. I limited the expectation of heaven based on what was required. And then I was like, all right, well, I got that out the way. Boom. I destroyed that limiting belief once I read that, and once I truly understood, it spoke to me. And then I was like, okay, it's possible now. See, and then that was where it got me, and that's honestly, and I've been in that stage for a really long time, if you think about it. That's where I'm like, well, shit. I've always accepted the imperfect to a way, but now I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I can get past that. Maybe it was just as limiting. Now I'm past believing. Okay, I could believe now, but can I actually try to be and act that good? And I didn't. And I thought I could be only as I said, I could love my neighbor as I love myself, and I could I could do that. You see what I was saying? I could show love, I could be easy, I still make my mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I didn't put anything above that. But I think after my whole little thing of telling you guys to try, I said, maybe I need to. Maybe I need to try. Maybe I need to try. And that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I pretty much came down to. And when I walked away with it, I said, you know what? I just think it's trying. And, I think I have stuff that's limited my beliefs. And again, and that's if I am going to give you guys anything, is try. As long as you try, that's all you need. Honestly. And even then, and this is what I'm even saying, I think we all live in a world where there's a lot of shit around you, man, and be careful what you guys are putting in front of you. And if you think that it's here to stay, you see what I'm saying? I'm just like, what can I do? I can't change that. It's like, maybe we can. Maybe it doesn't have to be around everybody like that. Maybe all of this shit doesn't have to be shoved down our throats. Maybe, and then think about it and just think about what you grew up watching, what you grew up looking at, what you grew up being involved with. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how it could change, just think about how it's affected you though. And really think about that, Think about all the shit you watch, all the shit you put in your brain, and literally, come on, you're worshiping it. That's what it's called, worship. It's literally, you do anything. People are like, I don't know how to worship. Screw worshiping God. Worship anything is when you give it your time and your mind and you're focusing on, you know what I'm saying? So think about that. That's what I'm saying. Just really think about that. And just honestly, it's kind of what I've came down to. Just refuse it in a weird way. You see what I'm saying? Because once you realize that once you've been spammed with so much of that shit, it's destroyed belief, hope, and expectation to a degree. Literally. You've seen so many scammers, nobody could be good. You know what I'm saying? You've seen so many people compromise for money. Everything's about money. So it's just like, damn. But it's not like you don't have to, you could refuse that, but then you could just understand how it's in your head. Like you're literally like, some people think the idea, you guys like the worship thing? Great. Because some people think it's funny. They're like, if I told you go worship God, you think you like going to a church, you think you're praying, Allah. that's a different one. You think you're doing all this shit. Like, no. It says you worship the Lord with your mind. That's what it says in the Bible. Like whatever you do in your mind, whatever you're running in your mind, whatever you're watching every day, whatever you're looking, you're worshiping it, dude. Call it what you want. Just because it's not a church and doesn't have a cross in a Bible, you're worshiping it. If that's all you do, you look at it, some of you worship stocks. I had that realization. I said, I worship this shit. Think about it. We sit here every day. We're like, oh, stock market. Oh, it's going up. Oh, stock market. You guys pray to it. You're like, the stock market took my blessing. The stock market gave me this. You're like, oh, you guys are worshiping it every damn day, 7 hours a day. What else are you worshiping? But how has it affected you, and how is it affecting what you think you're going to get? And really, I'm just saying, I think we've all been corrupted, and there's a lot of these, things around us, and just don't ignore how it's going to affect your behavior and what it's affected you, how it's affected how you've moved already. But I really think there's a point where I think we've all just kind of settled for a certain level. And now we need to go to a different level. And that's what I'm going to do. That's just what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking into. And that was my philosophy. That's what I came to yesterday, thinking this. And I just said, I don't care, because I just need to try it. And it's going to be weird. It'll be different. And it's contrary to a lot of what I've done, but I think it's a level I could take it to. And I don't, and maybe, and I think I do have doubt about it, because I don't know. It's difficult. But I don't give a shit. I'm just going to try. See what I'm saying? And that's what I want to do. And I think any of you now, wherever you are, and that's what I'm going to say, whatever you think you wanted, and whatever you think you got, that's not enough. I'm just saying, try. You know what I'm saying? Try. And that's all. Well, maybe we'll get into another talk on trying. Maybe I'll explain another thing on trying, but at the end of the day, just try. And whatever you think you got right now, I mean, you could aim for high. And that's what it is. It's like it's being content, but we have to aim higher. You see, I'm content with where I'm at now. I'm not going to fall back, God willing. But at the same time, we should try. And we should try, that's what I'm saying, to a crazy level. Like, why not? You see the stocks move, you see something, you got what you wanted, you're like, is that, and then you're like, is that it? And it's not. So I'm like, we could try. And I don't care what's been, my whole life, I've been corrupted and seeing this corruption to the point where I cannot believe. It's very difficult for me to believe to a certain level of good in people beyond God, honestly. So that's where I'm like, maybe it is possible. At least we got to try it. And at the end of the day, nobody will be truly good. But I think what's going to separate it is the people who tried and didn't. And the people who tried to take it to that level and didn't. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And really my question for you is, what are you going to try? What level are you going to try to take it to? Are you content? Are you settled? What? Are you going to try? How are you going to let everything you've grown up and seen with, how are you going to let that affect you? Because this is all the shit I asked myself yesterday. At the end of the day, there was a situation. It was presented to me, all of the answers I said to this, and I refused it. I just said no. I said, fuck that. I'm going to try then. Because it just didn't sit right with me. And especially after I'm telling all of you guys to try. At one point, there's something like, what are you going to try, Josh? What should you try? I was like, yeah, damn right. All right, game on. So let's do it. And that's a goal. And it's part of a goal I have, and I want to do it, and it has so many parts to it. I'm going to try to keep it simple, but I want to try. I'm going to try to keep it simple, but I just need to make sure I try to do it, baby. And for you guys, do what you want. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you feel, but just think about it. You see, I talked about me. I ran through it, and this is how I came to all these. I'm just thinking. And these are the questions I have, and these are the questions I'm asking myself, and this is where it's led me to talk to you. But it's for me. So do the same for you. That's what you could take out of it. And the fact is, you're not done. There's a lot more stuff you could surround yourself and expose yourself with to kind of balance, to give you the balancing act to what you've already, when you were weak, you couldn't defend yourself. You didn't know what you were doing when you were looking at shit. When you were just trying to play video games and you were on the internet, and then you got tossed into a crazy world of some fucked up shit online. For real. All my real gamers know about it. I'm telling you. You were innocent. You didn't know what the hell you were getting into. But you're moving on now. You still got another 20, 30 years, but even then, it taught you something. The gaming world, the corruption, and that's the best part. Remember, I told you guys, you got to know how to move. The corruption taught you something. You see, I see all this stuff around me. I've been jaded by it, and it's a blessing because it's taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot. I know how to move. So I could teach you a whole class on it. I could teach you a whole class on corruption, scams, and everything. I know how I move now. I know how they move. I see it. It's taught me a lot. God bless. Wisdom. So let it teach you something. But the final point I'm trying to tell you all is don't let it limit you. Let it teach you. Yes, you've been corrupted, but don't let that be a limit to what you're going to do and what you think you can do. Because that's what I got out of it. So that is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you subscribe. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. You're on mobile. Press high chat, X out the chat, hit the thumbs up button. Secondly, for the nightly watch, this is the main channel. First link for the Scream Alerts Bootcamp for Real Estate Course. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. I'll be right back.